Good evening, my Rosalines and Rosikins. Mother is back, and in this episode, I want to talk about the fact of why Rosalines are not obsessed with wealth building the same way you are or some women are. And I'm going to keep saying, when you think of the term Rosalind and Rosalines, insert pretty women, insert brown stars, darkskin exoticals, and insert exotic black women. Okay, so Rosalind's build wealth for safety and independence, but you build wealth for leverage and desperation. So when Rosalind is building wealth, it is literally to gain freedom. Okay, it's to gain freedom and for her own mental health and safety. Who are we trying to be safe from? Why are we trying to gain freedom? We're trying to be safe from men that are obsessed with us and that want to control us because of our pretty privilege, and women who envy us and want to sabotage us because of our pretty privilege. We want to have autonomy in life, and we know that wealth building is one of the greatest ways to have complete autonomy of your life as a pretty ass woman. And other women, and when they say other women, think of average or unattractive women. They cannot relate because they're doing it so that they have some importance in life. You see, they need their wealth in order to compensate for the fact that they lack pretty privilege. They need their wealth in order to try to, I guess, be marketable in the sexual market, in regards to being shown that they're an asset for a man. But no, Roslins are trying to escape like being an asset for a man just from our looks alone. We want to have that freedom to choose the life that we want and to be the woman that we want. Okay. Roslins build wealth because we know what it is to be a pretty girl without that safety net and the exploitation that comes with it. The worst thing than being a pretty girl that doesn't know she's pretty is being a broke pretty girl that doesn't know she's pretty or that knows she's pretty but lacks that power. Because as you see, like with examples like, um, I would say a lot of celebrity women, if you think about their backstory with certain men, especially the ones where the power dynamic is very different. Like she's powerful, as in she's equal with that man because of her looks. So, a woman being pretty is like a man having money. So they coincide with that. She's able to attract a provider. However, a lot of beautiful women that are able to attract providers but don't have their own are put in a very, I would say, unique and dangerous position because she has power. Her beauty is her power, but she doesn't have the wealth power in order to break away from certain patterns or certain men or certain circumstances within life. That's why you see a lot of beautiful women being exploited or going into certain industries in order to gain that power to the extent that they end up getting um, hurt and traumatized, right? And so, yeah. However, when other women are building wealth, they don't have to face the fact of being traumatized because no one's really checking for them. No one's really trying to get them in a situation where all they have is their beauty and nothing else to protect them so that they're open to that abuse. Now, some can argue, okay, well, women go through that financial abuse and whatnot. That's great, but it's, and I'm being sarcastic when I say it's great. Um, I'm sorry for any woman going through financial abuse or abuse in general, but when you are a Rosalind, you're gonna go through that even worse and intentionally. It's a plot that happens for you to be discarded and to keep your guard down in regards to not having the power of beauty and wealth by powerful men and people that want to exploit you. Other women build wealth to show a man they're an equal so they have more leverage in getting picked. So, I noticed this a lot lately. Oh, sorry. I want some water. 1 second. Oh gosh. Okay. So, I noticed this a lot, okay? A lot of women, especially when I see like Kendra G's show, I see average and unattractive, ugly women who get on there who are overweight. Oh Jesus, bad wigs. I can't. Um, and all the audacity in the world, and not like having a good face card at all. So my thing is this. My thing is this. They literally get on the show and they literally are like, I want a man that's a provider because I make that amount of money. Not understanding that in this world, lookism really does affect a lot. Even dating, they will take a pretty woman that's broke over you that has money but is unattractive or average. So I find it very interesting that they have all these demands because they have the money. And even Kevin Samuels pointed this out during his time when he would make videos scolding women like this who were like delusional in that way, where it's like, okay, men are not worried about your money. They're worried about like their attraction to you and other elements of your femininity. Um, and, I find that so interesting because they're not trying to have a safety net. No, no, no. They're trying to seem marketable for men by building wealth. Okay. They're not trying to have autonomy over their life because they're at a high risk of being exploited because they have pretty privilege. No, they're trying to compensate for the lack of pretty privilege through their wallet as if they're a fucking man. Okay. So, yeah, it's like they're trying to be like, oh, well, I have all this money, so I would make a great mate, and I demand a man that makes money because I have a lot of money too, since I'm lacking beauty. Okay, so it's just different. Okay. Other women are only obsessed with wealth building because they only have their money as an option. So, women like this who don't have options as far as their pretty privilege, adding to their privileges in life and wealth building, they understand that no man's coming to save them. So they have to build the wealth. Nobody's coming to give them certain opportunities. So they have to figure it out and build it for themselves because they understand no one's going to take care of them financially. No one's going to provide for them except themselves. And so that is why they have a hard time and are obsessed with the dollar amount that they have acquired. We're obsessed with, as in Rosalines, right? We're obsessed with wealth building and their beauty at the same time. They go hand in hand. So wealth building and beauty building for Rosalines, we do both. We don't have to pick one or the other because we have both and the opportunity to. So we have beauty already, but we have the opportunity to have wealth as well. So we put them both on the same pedestal because we understand what's the point of being a woman if all you have is money. You should be a woman that has beauty and money, period. Um, okay. I also want to say too that in regards to other women being obsessed with wealth building and having their money as only option, Rosalind's, we have other people's money as an option, okay? And that's the gag, and our own. So, wealth building for Rosalind's comes easier because of their pretty privilege and plethora of other privileges they stack up. Now you can have intelligence slash education privilege, talent privilege, health privilege, networking privileges. I know I'm just naming all these words with privilege next to it. I'm so done. But seriously, it's a real thing. Femininity privilege, multicultural privilege, just so many ambiguity privilege. It's just so many privileges we have, and that can contribute to our wealth building process. For example, if you're someone that might be like have a multicultural privilege, like maybe you come have different sectors of culture within you. Like me, I have West Indian culture and African American culture. Technically speaking, since I have partial West Indian, it's still a part of me, right? And I can talk about things like this and like West Indies spirituality, etc. Like I have Native American admixture, European admixture. I could touch on things that contribute to that culture and society as a whole in regards to those avenues and get monetized on YouTube if I wanted to. I can talk about my time in college because I had education privilege, right? Or have education privilege and what it is to be a straight A student. I have had all these opportunities and have all these opportunities to pivot and use those experiences in my life because of my pretty privilege, opening many doors for me to, I guess, expand my audience and connect with others. And therefore, that can lead to even more opportunities. So things like that, we were able to, as Exoticals United has said in her videos, privilege stack. Okay. Let's see. Other women are so desperate for wealth building, they only see it as a possibility with a man. So that's another thing. I realized too that women who are obsessed with wealth building because they lack pretty privilege, they literally only see it with a man. Like, oh, I need to build wealth so I can qualify for a high value man so I can, have a family and start building that wealth with him. Okay. Or they're so desperate they rely on a man's money, and so that's why they're trying to get with a high value man. Whether they're building wealth or not, they feel entitled to that because they only see a high value man as their ticket, their meal ticket. However, Roslins have options and don't have to wait for a man for wealth building. We truly believe in building it on our own and then enjoy using his wealth too. So, Roslins, we have a different strategy and a different way of looking at wealth building. Roslins will be like, okay, I don't need no man. I'm gonna build my own shit, and it's not like an audacious way of like, oh, I'm a I'm a woman. I don't need no man type of energy with a bad attitude. It's just the fact that we don't. There are a plethora of men that want us, but we get to choose which one we want, and we also understand that having pretty privilege is not enough. You also have to have your own as a woman that has pretty privilege because you'll be exploited if you don't. Okay? And the gag is that even when we decenter men in that way, right? Of wealth building, they still want to throw their wealth at us because they understand that we are worthy women in their eyes because of our high sexual market value and femininity. We are worthy women to splurge that wealth on, period. Okay, let's see. Roslins are given options on how they build wealth as well. So you can have content creation, talent, you can do it anonymously, you can do side hustles through men. There are women who do things like sex work, and sugar baby, sugar baby dating, and just men that want to give you money, period. You name it. Feet pics, shit. We got a plethora of things that we can do to generate wealth building for ourselves. Okay. Other women only use their career and can't create nothing more to build wealth off their beauty or other privileges in society. So, and yes, we see average unattractive women doing great with content creation, but the truth is, this is their only other bag. In that sense, pretty girls have a plethora of ways that, in fact, are curated by a soft life. So, I would say, before I break that statement down further, for any of my Roslins who are just career focused, that is no diss to you. There are pretty privileged women who literally just focus on their career, like lawyers, etc., teachers, all types of things, right? I've been career focused, I still am, but I am branching out more and using my pretty privilege to do so and to build a pretty empire. My thing, though, is that that is not your only option. You're choosing to have that be your only option. You're not stuck in anything, no career. You can keep pivoting. So that's the beauty of having a pretty privilege and being a Roslyn. So the examples I want to use in regards to creating a soft life through Roslyn's having options with generating wealth, think of like content creation like makeup channels, fitness channels, day in the life, bare minimum effort to grow traction. Those are things that I really see a lot of Roslyn's doing and being very successful at. Other women have to really work for it and compensate with other shenanigans, or make it a family or marriage channel slash event. They can't do the numbers by themselves alone. So what I realized, or they pander a lot to other average or unattractive women. What I realized is that a lot of content creators that are average or unattractive women, they literally have to make it a family affair where they focus on their kids or on being a wife or being in a certain role. So basically having to be someone that is helping others or catering to somebody else. Pretty girls, Rosalines, we don't have to do that shit. We cater to ourselves and make content and get so many likes, so many views because we are women that have multiple options in wealth building and that can do it while having a soft life. We don't need to work a 9 to 5 alone. We don't have to, and we certainly don't. Rosalines who are ascended understand that their beauty is powerful and they could use that to do more than just, have a fucking pretty hierarchy contest because that shit is not okay. And last but not least, my biggest thing is this. Rosalind's, even when older, are still blessed with wealth present day. The wealth they accrue in present time isn't only from youth and decades of wealth building, it's also from their beauty that's evolved to this day. So when I say this statement, you could think of like other women who spend their whole lives working and over like 30 years they've created a great financial safety net for them of wealth. But what about women who have generated that and even when they're older, they still are generating present day wealth where it's based off their beauty because they're beautiful 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds, starting YouTube channels and having different avenues of networking and building wealth because they're beautiful. They're Rosalins. So my thing is that when you are a pretty woman, when you're a Rosalind, nothing stops your bag. Nothing in life stops your bag because your beauty is forever thriving and evolving. Even age can't stop it if you're doing it right, right? So my thing is just the fact that I really enjoy and adore um, the process of wealth building as mother because I understand that this is optional, right? The way that I choose to build my wealth is optional. I have many different avenues I can take, you know? As a pretty girl, you have so many options, but I always say this whatever you choose to build wealth with, whether it be on the backs of men, through a community with women, through your career, through your passions, through your talents, whatever you choose. As a Rosalind, make sure at the end of the day you can look at yourself in the mirror with dignity, no matter what you choose, and that you're being authentic to yourself the whole time, because that's a big thing too. So, with that, Mother is going to say, let me know in the comments down below what it is that you feel as a Rosalind contributes to your wealth building journey, and what ways are you building your wealth? Period. And with that, Mother's going to say, ciao.